Hello and welcome to Take Time. I'm your host Patrick Marlette, and let's talk about what's inside this box. So I was recently contacted by a relatively new brand. I believe they introduced their watches to the market in 2014 on Kickstarter, and that brand is Zelos. Zelos reached out to me to talk about one of the most recent watch offerings, the Hammerhead. And as you've guessed it, it is a dive watch. But not only that, it is a 1,000-meter diver that harkens back to the cushion case dive watches of yesteryear. However, this time with an angular facelift. So instead of the more round and curved edges of your typical cushion case dive watch, this one has a boulder-like appearance in overall presence, at least from what I've seen in their production imagery. And I have to say, I was actually quite excited when they reached out because I'd not heard of the brand, and when they showed me the design, it was extremely unique, and the offerings within the Hammerhead range are also really unique to the market. So when you think of watches that feature meteorite dials or titanium and bronze cases, you usually think of a watch that's more expensive. However, in this instance, Zelos produces a watch that's sub $1,000, every single Hammerhead in the Hammerhead range, with a variety of awesome case materials and components that you would expect from a much more costly watch. As a matter of fact, the meteorite diver they're selling now, I think, is about $950, and it uses a meteorite dial face with a titanium case and bracelet. Of course, we'll go over all the specifics of this model as well, but it's crazy that they're able to hit the market with a watch that's unique in design and uses quality case components at an affordable rate. The Zelos Hammerhead we're going to be tackling today is the cobalt blue version, and it weighs in about $850 for a titanium case and bracelet. And again, I'm very excited to see what this guy looks like. But as with all of my two-part videos here on the channel, just so you guys know if you don't know already, this part 1 video is only an unboxing and first impression, but our part 2 video that happens a week later is an in-depth review. In these part 1 videos, I also like to take any viewer-related questions, comments, or concerns and answer them in our part 2 video. So without further ado, why don't we jump to our unboxing and first impression? Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section and I'll be happy to answer them here or in our part 2 video. Again, I hadn't heard of Zelos until they contacted me that fateful day about a month ago, and I have to say I didn't know what to expect from the brand, having never seen their watches before, but I have to say I'm quite impressed with all of their offerings, and I'm hoping that this first impression is a good one, but I fully suspect that this watch is going to be excellent. I mean, with all their success on Kickstarter, maybe you guys own a Zelos watch already. Let me know your opinions of the brand thus far, but I have to say I'm very excited to pry into this one. All right, let's see what we get. So this should be what the consumer packaging is when you receive your Zelos watch. It should come in a mailer pretty similar to this. Put that over there. Okay, so we have a black outer shell with a gold Zelos emblem on the front, and if we push out that interior box, we have a matching logo on a wooden box as well. I'm going to put this outer shell off to the side. And we have a really nice looking Zelos box. As a matter of fact, this reminds me of cigar boxes, how they lift and are cut very similarly. I wouldn't be surprised if they went with a cigar box manufacturer for this, but actually quite like it. Very nostalgic for me. I used to smoke cigars quite often in Virginia where I grew up, but not so much anymore. When we go into what's inside? This feels like such a little mystery being unveiled, guys. I don't know if everyone's going to receive. Is this a roll bag with their watch? I have to say this is quite dope, the fact that I'm seeing one here. Whoa, Zelos, everyone needs to step up their watch game now. I had to double check their website to make sure they weren't just sugarcoating this review item for me to give them a good review, but literally every single purchase comes with a canvas roll bag with this leather trim, 2 additional straps, the watch itself, obviously, warranty card, and a spring bar removal tool. Yeah, that's awesome. So yes, other brands, if you're watching, this is the bar now. This is the bar. You guys need to step above that, or at least meet it, because this is quite impressive. I'm very happy with the overall presentation here. This is a lot more than a lot of other micro brands are doing, so very good first impression with the unboxing. So the first additional strap option here is a vintage leather strap. And okay, cool. It's got a little Zelos logo embossed on the back. It says genuine leather, a genuine Italian leather. I will soon find out. It appears to be missing its buckle. I assume it's on this model here. Maybe not. Did we get a buckle? Uh-oh, guys. All right, so a little less impressed. I'm assuming there's a buckle somewhere in this bag, or it was simply forgotten with this review unit. So I'll contact them to see if you're supposed to outfit these with your own buckle, but that is how I received mine. Let me know if that happened to you guys as well. And of course, I'll double check everything to make sure that I'm not just missing them. But the second strap option you receive should be this canvas offering. So it has leather keepers as well as a leather backing on the underside. And damn, these are really good looking straps. I'm hoping to use them. We'll see if I don't have a buckle I can place in here in the interim, or, you know, I got a gut feeling it's got to be somewhere in this packaging. And here is what your warranty card looks like. Extremely charming. There's a little watch on the outside there. Yeah, that's unique. And now, without further ado, since we've all seen spring bar tools in the past, why don't we take a look at the Hammerhead. Here is the Zelos Hammerhead in cobalt blue. And again, it's surprisingly light due to the titanium case and bracelet construction. Despite the overall scale of this watch, it is very light on my fingertips. And just so you guys know, it measures about 49 millimeters from lug end to lug end. It has a 44 millimeter width and a 22 millimeter lug width. It has a overall case height, that is with the crystal included, of about 17 millimeters thick. So pretty beefy watch, as you'd expect for a 1,000-meter diver. On top, we have a double-domed sapphire crystal with AR coating on the inside, and I much prefer this execution, as I find the AR coating on the outsides of these crystals often deteriorate over time, and it's just an inevitability with it weathering day-to-day use. The cobalt blue bezel insert is actually made of ceramic, so you shouldn't have to worry about it getting scratched or banged up from day-to-day use, and the action on it is... it's all right. It's got a lot of back play, but it's not the worst in the world. It locks into place quite well. I'd rather have this issue of it being, a little bit looser with back play than have it extremely stiff, as we've seen on other dive watches here on the channel. So I don't mind this execution at all. It is quite loud, though. That might be due to the fact that it is a lighter metal, but you can hear that noise as I rotate it around the dial. Now, I, of course, will provide you guys with a lume shot in our part 2 video, but just so you guys know, the bezel insert is lumed. The hour markers, hands, and minute track are also lumed. And not only that, the crown itself is lumed. So hang tight to see what that display looks like. It should look pretty awesome in the dark, but overall, I'm enjoying the aesthetic of not only this watch case, but this dial setup a whole lot. I love the date window being at the 6 o'clock position. I think the cutout is also perfect for it. It's very discreet, but it doesn't look off-putting on this dial. I also love the radial finishing on the cobalt blue of the dial. It reminds me of a vinyl record, and I quite like that look for this watch. But one of my favorite things when I was taking this watch in off of the production imagery was that handset. I'm so glad they didn't go for a very boring or tired look. I'm glad they went for something unique, and I have to say, the hands on this watch are just that. They're extremely unique. I mean, I haven't seen these on another dive watch or any watch before, but I think they look extremely good in combination with this watch. They're bold slabs of steel that point towards the hour and minute, and I absolutely love how they were constructed. But while we're looking at the handset, why don't we talk about the yellow second hand that's beating around the dial? It is a spark of color that just works very well in combination with blue and is very, very nice in livening up the overall appearance of this watch. And let's not forget the splash of color with the yellow 1000-meter text at the 6 o'clock position as well. I'm really loving the overall boulder-like appearance of this case. There's no other way to describe it for me. I love the sharp, angular sides of the case and lugs, how they all meet together to create this very cohesive design. Now, the last thing I want to mention is the movement inside this watch. Inside beats the heart of an NH35, that is a Seiko caliber movement. It has hacking, hand winding. It also has a beat rate of 21,600 beats per hour. The NH35s have a 41-hour power reserve and work off of the DiaShock shock resistance system that Seiko's developed, so it should be a reliable movement for this watch. Now, before I close this video, I'd love to provide you guys with sort of a faux wrist shot of this watch. Of course, I need to size the bracelet still. There's a lot of linkage going on here, but just to give you guys an impression, here is what the Zelos Hammerhead looks like on a 7¼ inch wrist, and I have to say it actually pairs really well with my wrist. I thought it would be just a little too large, but it actually fits quite nicely. Again, the height is one thing that may or may not work for most people, but I think the overall scale is actually really nice on the wrist. Again, if you have any questions about the Zelos Hammerhead, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Also, if you found this video enlightening or in the least entertaining, feel free to hit that like button. It looks a little something like this guy. If you have friends, forums, or groups that are interested in the Zelos Hammerhead, feel free to share this review with them. This will also provide them with a great opportunity to ask any questions about this watch before the final in-depth review comes out. Also, if you are new to the channel, well, welcome. I do videos like this twice a week, so if watch content is your thing, this may be a good home for you. You can hit the subscribe button to see when my videos come out, and if you'd like to see precisely when they come out, you can hit the bell icon just next to that. Again, my name is Patrick Marlett, and thank you for the time.